Shalom WJC family. It's time for our weekly Torah Talk. This week we are studying Parshat Terumah, sort of a middle point in this book of Exodus, the book of Shemot, and we are shifting our attention now from Revelation and the giving of general laws to the giving of the laws about the Tabernacle, about this portable tent that would be built in the desert. Everybody had to contribute. They had to be generous and give to the project of the Tabernacle. That somehow everyone participating in giving was a way to draw sort of God's presence down. As a matter of fact, the portion starts, Vayedaber Adonai el Moshe. God said to Moses, Daber el bnei Yisrael, speak to Israel and say, Vayichu li Terumah. Take for me Terumah, or gifts, me'et kol ish, from every person, asher yidbenu libo, as his heart moves him, tichu et Terumati, so you should take these gifts. So my question for us today is, it says, for everyone should give gifts as his heart moves him. Asher yidvenu libo, as they are inspired to do. And the question I have is, where do we find this inspiration? In a world that is so crazy with things changing so fast and we just feel beaten down so often, where do we feel lifted up? Where do we find our inspiration? And for an answer to that question, how do we get our hearts to be moved, to feel that presence of God near us the way that the tabernacle allowed our ancestors to feel it? I want to look for an answer to the question to the commentary of Rebbe Nahman of Bratzlav, of course, the founder of Bratzlav or Chassidut, one of the great mystical thinkers in our tradition. And he latches on to a peculiar word that many of the other commentators notice also. It says, Vayichu li Terumah. Take for me these gifts, this Terumah. Why does it say, take for me these gifts? It should say, notain li. Right? Newly, you should give to me these gifts. But it doesn't say give to me gifts, it says take for me gifts. It's very odd language. So Rebbe Nahman, commenting on this, he says, this is because revealing original Torah insights draws down God's holiness, like Vayichu li Terumah, right? Take me, not take for me, Rabbi Nahman is reading it, but actually take me, grab me, pull me close. That is what Rebbe Nahman is commenting on. And how do we do that? How do we draw God down? He says through Torah study, through original Torah insights. That's how he's translating Terumah. That these are these gifts. And let them take for me a donation. Right? Let them take me a donation. That is when you want to take and draw me down, says Rebbe Nahman. It is possible only through the Torah, right? When you want to be inspired, when you want to find your way to God, when you want to grab close to God and draw God close, you do it through learning. Through the Torah, we draw him down, as it were. And I want to highlight, in order to fill out that idea, another one of his comments that he makes a little bit later. These are all from Likutei Maharan, a collection of Rebbe Nahman's teachings. Later he says, supernal pleasantness flows continually. Supernal pleasantness is in quotes. It's like an aspect of God. Nevertheless, one must have a vessel with which to receive the influx of supernal pleasantness, right? God is actually trying to reach us all the time, but we need a vessel in order to receive this pleasant aspect of God. And no, says Rebbe Nahman, the vessel with which to receive flames of love from supernal pleasantness is forged through tzedakah, through giving. For giving, charity, is the generosity of the heart. As it is written again in our verse, from every person, as his heart urges him, you shall take my donation. Right? Kol ish asher yidbenu libo, everyone who is inspired. Generosity is that the heart is open and benevolent. As a result, the pathways of the heart open and become a vessel for receiving the flames of love drawn from supernal pleasantness, as mentioned above. So if we take these two comments that Rebbe Nahman has on this verse, right? First, Vayichu li Terumah, grasp me to you through Terumah, right? Learn Torah, and somehow through the Torah, draw me down into the world and into your life, right? And the second one, right, that everyone should give as his heart moves him, that giving, the act of generosity, opens up the pathways of the heart. What we get together is that it is through giving that we feel inspiration, right? It's through giving to the world of Torah, to giving towards the values that we learn in the Torah. Through giving, we will be inspired in our Torah, and through giving, ultimately, we have the ability to draw God down into this world. Such a powerful thing is tzedakah, that through tzedakah we can draw the divine into the world and into our lives. Every act of giving, says Rebbe Nahman, opens up our hearts to receive inspiration. If you are, like me sometimes these days, feeling uninspired, feeling that it's just difficult to get up and to find a way forward, to find new novel ways of looking at the world and to inspire goodness in a world so inundated with hate and with trauma and with violence and through ugliness, then maybe it's time to give. Maybe it's time to learn. And through that giving and through that learning, may we all be inspired. May all of our hearts move us to give towards a better world. One last thought, the tabernacle is thought to be a reflection of the world itself. Right? When we make the tabernacle in the desert, the language in the Torah very much parallels the language in Bereshit at the beginning of Genesis that told us to build a world. Or told us how God built the world. God built the world this way, we build the tabernacle this way. So ultimately, when we do this generosity and we are inspired to draw God into the world, we're doing the same work that the tabernacle is doing, drawing God into the world. The same work of creation that God does to make a better world, to make a more perfect world. So may all of that come together. May we feel inspired. When we don't feel inspired, rather than let that hold us back, let's just give, let's just learn, let's just help each other. And through those acts, we will actually be inspired. That's where we'll find the inspiration, not the other way around. Giving inspires us to live. Living does not inspire us to give. May we all be inspired to live the best lives we can and in the best world we can create through our acts of generosity, of giving, and of learning Torah. Shabbat Shalom.